going to be June 16th, 2026. Maybe Director Brian Knight, call sign 0495. To the left of me.
It's going to be Deputy Cassie Lockhart, badge number 381 with the BCSO.
I'm going to go ahead and advise you of your rights. At this time, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. Cannot afford an attorney. One will be provided for you by the state if available. Do you understand your rights as they've been read to you today?
I do.
Just going to adjust myself on the seat. What's your full name?
Nancy Oksana.
State ID?
21712.
Miss Oksana. Where are you from originally?
London Bridge. Have you ever been there?
London Bridge fell down.
Not yet.
I'm going to go ahead and read you some of your charges. Understand that this is the set of charges initially posted to the docket. Some of these charges are going to be adjusted. Pursuant of incident number 25866, you are currently facing treason, stockpiling of firearm ammunition, weapons manufacturing accessory, weapons trafficking accessory, felony possession with intent to distribute, one-time drug trafficking, one-time production of a controlled substance, one-time practicing medicine without a license, one-time falsifying medical documents, possession of Scheduled 1 drug, spice. Pursuant to incident 25688, one-time attempted mass murder of a government employee, criminal possession of a Class 2 firearm, possession of illegal ammunition, possession, Schedule 2 drug, cocaine, one-time possession of Schedule 1 drug, bag of spice, escaping custody, and, of course, a slew of other charges. Miss Oksana, what's going on?
You tell me.
Why'd you break out of prison?
Why was I detained today?
Why were you detained today? Well, you're facing hag-level charges, are you not?
It was funny because Maeve said that everything would be explained to me by Brian Knight himself.
Yeah. Are your hag charges not evidence in and of itself, or are you asking, how did we get you figured out?
I'm asking, why did you detain me today?
I think you're asking the question, why did we detain you using your falsified identity? Is that your actual question?
Why were you at Liquid Library today?
We're printing a book, believe it or not. And then your dumb fuck friend decided to run. Mr. Tony Corleone. You know, the crazy thing is, he made our life that much easier. And I do appreciate it. Something, you can leave Lean Street, but Lean Street never leaves you. Reminds me of Alfonso Sebastian. But you probably don't know too much about what I'm referencing.
No, I don't.
You know.
Would you like to elaborate?
We've known each other for some time. Tony, Alfonso, Lang, etc. One thing doesn't change, and that's the chaos they sometimes bring.
On Great Ocean.
And thus you assumed I was with whoever that was.
Very reasonable. But that wasn't the only reason.
And what was the other reason?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would, actually.
Unfortunately, giving you all our cards would be make our life that much more difficult when catching the rest of you.
You said you'd been following me for a little while now.
You made a mistake the other day,
What was that?
leaving your boat behind.
Whose boat was it?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
So, New Babylon. What was your role?
I was a scientist. I wanted to make this world a better place.
Mhm.
You get sick, Mr. Knight, I could fix it. That's what I wanted. That was what I was working towards.
How so?
Science never stops, does it? New diseases come, they go. Someone has to fix those.
I agree.
That was what I was going to achieve.
What disease are you concerned of?
At that moment, nothing. We had an issue with algae in the sea. I worked heavily to try and sort that before anybody consumed fish from there. But I don't know, I can't tell you how sick you're going to get. Time tells that.
How is Spice going to cure any of that?
Why would spice cure any of that?
Well, I'm just assuming. I assume that's the medicine you're referencing.
No. You'd be wrong.
And so where did that come into play?
I'm not sure how we've got from algae and me wanting to cure a riverbed so that people can eat to that.
Well, Nancy, I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm not a scientist or a doctor or any of these things. So that's why I'm leaving these questions very open-ended so you can explain to me.
And I wish that I could answer that for you, but I can't because it wasn't my work.
The spice wasn't your work. Convenient. Do you like reading?
I love it.
Yeah. Were you involved in any of the spice production?
No.
See, this is the problem with Nancy. I know significantly more than I feel like you realize. The reason I asked whether you like reading is I myself read through about 18,000 pages of Babylonian text. Lot written about you, in fact.
How so?
Well, mostly in the realm of spice. So when you say you have nothing to do with spice, that's hard by. I mean, you could at least makes it a little obvious you're lying to me. Now, had you said something like, well, I only did a little bit here and there, well, that's at least somewhat believable.
Have I consumed it myself? Yes.
I asked you whether you produced it. you had any involvement in its production.
How was it produced?
If you don't know anything about it, how would you know the answer, right?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Did Alfonso stroke the sandworms to get you the cummies that needed to be processed? Who did the stroking?
The stroking.
Well, you tell me. I imagine your role was more in the processing bit.
Well, if you knew that, you'd know who was doing stroking.
How's Stevie on nowadays?
Sorry, repeat that.
Steven? Stevie on? Ring a bell?
No, it doesn't.
Hmm.
Who was that?
What about Sid?
Sid who?
Interesting. Well, you had more than one Sid in New Babylon. What about Artemis Quinn?
Haven't heard from her for a very long time.
Spice is a substance produced by the sandworms gifted to us from Shai Halud. This test is to record both the mental and physical effects of human subjects. Spice has been examined previously to this test and has been determined safe for human experimentations. Objective: observe spice effects on body and mind. Hypothesis: will cause hallucinations, grand visions, and or altered states of consciousness. Equipment: thermometer, stethoscope, used by medical examiner. Methods: physical, mental exam by a medic before and after the test, questioning the subject before and after, observe and record all findings. Looks like you and Bobby supervised this.
And what do you believe of that novel?
Um.
After all, I love books.
Oh. I'm sorry. Was this your fan fiction that you're writing up?
No, but I've read it.
Oh, I see. You've read this particular one. It's interesting. Huh. I wonder where all the spice went before the raid. Did you write any books on the spice train? That's a good one, isn't it? The one that Benji used to conduct. Did he ever put a conductor hat on? We go around, choo choo.
Spice Train. Is that something out of the novels?
Well, you tell me. I mean, I'm sure you've read the material more than I have, being in New Babylon and all.
Yeah, I've read it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I always thought it was something of make-believe. Have you seen it?
I have. So you had no involvement in Spice whatsoever. Is that what you're stating?
I can't recall.
Ah. You can't recall now. Well, we're getting a little closer. Usually, Nancy, that's the sign that you're starting to realize maybe they know a little bit more than I thought they did. Now, all of a sudden, I don't recall. So which one is it? That you don't recall, or you had no involvement with Spice?
I know what you know. I read the novels.
Yeah.
I won't sit here and lie that I've not taken it because I have.
Now you're just deflecting. It's a yes or no question there, Nancy. Did you have any involvement in the production of Spice? Or the sale of?
They were just novels, Mr. Knight.
What was novels?
What you're reciting to me. The same novels that I read.
You're deflecting again, Nancy. Were you involved in the production or sale of Spice? Yes or no?
No.
Huh. Ever?
No.
Okay. Nancy, do you remember what happened at the Liquid Library? The little sale-a-thon? I was there. Sat among the crowd. Clark and yourself conducted the little telephone calls. Yeah, I was present. I was undercover. Just walking around, getting a nice look to see who was present and who was saying what. Had a nice little photo of all the prices too that were sitting up on top. It's actually when what resulted in Spice becoming illegalized. But no involvement, right?
What was I doing in that moment?
Well, it wasn't a moment now. It was well over an hour.
And what was I doing in that hour?
Orchestrating the buying and the selling.
Was I?
You were very much called out during it. In fact, I think you were pretty proud of yourself in that moment. But here is the beauty here, Nancy. My question was, have you ever been involved? And your answer is no. See, the danger of deny is when you start to get caught up in a lie and your credibility when being honest, well, makes it very hard to believe anything that it is that you have to say. Not to say that I'm not interested. But let's maybe move on to another subject, since your recollection seems to be a bit questionable.
See, one would assume that, before it was deemed wrong, that would have had no relevance. But really, what did I do in that moment? I didn't sell spice.
Hmm. Did you produce it?
No.
You had zero involvement in spice. So who did? Where did it come from?
I couldn't tell you that.
I'm sure.
If I
You know,
could,
you had a really nice
I would
lab.
take it regularly.
You had a very nice lab in New Babylon.
Thank you.
You collected a good bit of it alongside those worms. It was very interesting to see the different sizes that they were in. Do you ever have a bank account in New Babylon?
I wouldn't say that you could call it a bank account.
Yeah, what would you call it? Because that's what they seem to call it.
I don't know what you'd call it.
You know,
I had a
Nancy.
little,
Sorry, go ahead.
I had a little gold. I didn't really want for anything else. Lived off the land.
What was your scientific achievements while in New Babylon? Did you have any?
Yeah. I cleared the Babylonian lake of an algae that would probably have killed a lot of people if they had continued fishing from it. I did a lot of research into the mushrooms found along our island, of which have a lot of hallucinogenic effects. Dangerous. I wanted to stop it.
Who are your Mardukes?
I don't think you're silly enough to not know that.
Enlighten me. Who are
Who
your
do you think they
Mardukes?
were?
I believe I know who they are, but I'm asking you. I'm trying to gauge your level of honesty here, Nancy. Rather clear from where I'm sitting. You're holding up the card of ignorance as your defense. So surely some of these questions you should be able to answer truthfully. But if the cat's got your tongue on such a simple question, I'm not sure how fruitful this will be for the both of us. I'd like to hear your side of things. First, I need to understand whether or not I'm speaking to somebody that has any shred of truth. Who were the Mardukes? Is
I
the
worked for
recent
myself,
Mm,
and I have always worked for myself. I ran the laboratory. Everything that we did to try and help this island was through me and no one else.
the Alfonso defense. New Babylon was. What is that supposed to mean? Are you saying you're the brainchild of New Babylon, or you mean the lab specifically?
The lab, specifically.
I see.
Trying to do good work for this island that we reside on. I don't think there's many people that do that. Certainly not now.
Well, I do believe that some of your work may have been for a noble cause. There was spice being produced there. Are you concerned at all?
About?
about the things that could have happened to those that may have consumed some of it.
Well, I would only have my own experience of taking spice.
Yeah.
Which, I'll be honest with you, can only be deemed a positive experience. So what would make me concerned?
You
What
believe
I've
it?
read in legislation from City Hall.
Mm. Why didn't you contest it?
Contest it being illegalized?
Correct. As a scientist, if you truly disagreed with the way that it was categorized, why not contest it?
Is it my sole responsibility to make people feel as though how I feel? I don't think so.
Well, you're a scientist after all, right? I mean, your statement there sort of contradicts this noble cause that you're painting your lab and your work to be about. I mean, surely if you believe you had knowledge as a scientist and believed that there was positives that came out of this drug, why not share it? Share your knowledge, that is.
Because you're not going to die if you don't have it. The only reason I would need to ever force anything on anyone is if I thought that there was something out there that would kill them. I wouldn't want that for someone.
So you believe in your extensive research, Mass, if you were to consume excessive amounts of spice, that wouldn't do anything?
I didn't consume excessive amounts of spice. I consumed what I wanted to consume.
Others, Nancy.
Well, that would be me pushing that on them, which is exactly what I didn't want to do.
Is that why there was a prescription? To prevent mass consumption? Because some were certainly addicted, and some kept demanding. And what did you do, Nancy? Did you give in and give them what they demanded? Or did you have them hold to your prescription?
How do you know I gave anyone anything? After all, we are make-believe with our novels.
Lang always wanted spice from you, didn't he?
Did he?
Oh yeah. Which I'm sure you must be aware of, given the series of texts sent your way. Would you like a refresher?
Yes.
Bear with me 1 second.
No rush.
I need more. I'm going crazy. Where are you? I'll meet you at the lab. It's ready. I need more. Where are you? The lab. It goes on and on and on. Is that normally how your conversations went?
What is that in reference to? It's not very specific.
Oh. I need spice dot dot dot. Where are you? Dot dot dot. At the lab. Sorry, was that more to your liking?
And did I give it to him?
Oh, you didn't? Is that your claim? Why would he be asking? Why would the Grand Marduke be asking you for spice? I thought you had nothing to do with it.
I took it. I'll never deny that.
Yeah.
If you offered it to me right now, I would take it.
He didn't seem to ask anyone else.
I never hid that I was addicted to it.
Is the giant platform behind the tavern the spice lab? Jesus Christ. How was Artemis as a intern?
A hard worker. Good at what she did.
Yeah. And what about Clevin?
Levin didn't work in the lab.
No, he didn't.
He was a hard worker. He had a cleaning company. He was very good at it.
Did he ever... I'd have to take a look. Was he one of the salesmen? How was Luciano?
As a human being, liked to look like he was working hard.
Did you know he was fucking aliens? They're making alien porn?
Jesus.
Yeah. He used to sell it for, I believe, 1 or 5 Babylari. I don't remember specifically.
Alien porn.
Hmm.
Did you watch it?
I saw photos. He was investigated on the matter. He was happily let us know about his extracurriculars.
I would love to say that I could comment on that, but it's not my watching, if I'm completely honest with you.
There's a couple of photos of you shared around alongside some others hunting for worms in the desert. What's with the worms in the desert there, Nancy?
Could you repeat the question?
What's with the worms in the desert of Sandy Shores?
Would that be similar to you asking me what's with the snails in the forest, the birds in the trees?
No, because I don't share photos of birds and snails amongst my peers.
That's because we have very different passions. You love your work, I love mine.
So you research... Does your research include researching sandworms?
I know about them, yes. Be strange if I didn't.
Your research, Nancy. It's fine. I did enjoy the musical, by the way.
I'm glad.
Oh my gosh, the musical was so good.
Yeah. That's what we were.
It's
That's all we
unfortunate,
ever wanted to be.
which is
Live off the land. Provide things for people. Live quietly.
should we verify more shy halud, says Bobby. Spice, you mean? No, I mean in the cages. A very interesting conversation. What did how's Bobby in the lab?
Bobby was my organizer.
Yeah.
I have a mind that moves very fast. He was good at putting that into order.
Hmm. Why did you shoot law enforcement the day of the raid?
I didn't shoot law enforcement.
No.
In fact, I was shot down by them on February 18th as I fled for my life. With no weapon in hand. Because I have never experienced anything like that. Ever.
You know, February 18th is a very, very interesting day.
How so?
Well, myself and many of the other marshals did not attend. I sort of predicted it was going to be a shit show. I'm sure
And
you're
is that
aware by now.
because you don't trust officers that aren't in your department?
Specific officers.
Who are?
I think you know the answer to that.
If I knew the answer, I wouldn't have asked the question.
Funny how that is, given the earlier questions I asked. You know, Vale was punished for the things that she said. And there was a lot of screaming by me when I heard what had happened.
How was she punished?
Suspended. Retraining. Funny enough, she was on her way to walk into New Babylon, no weapons in hand, in order to talk through things. But it's funny, given the broadcasts, that somehow it's the marshals that made, well, the resistance do what they're doing now. It's interesting.
She reached out to me many times, but I'm sure you know that.
And how did that go?
I tried to resolve the issues. Multiple times.
I'm listening.
I listened to her explanation. Many times. I know she wanted to attend some of the events we had to make amends.
Yet she was put on a cross.
Was she? Because I didn't end contact with her, so if that was the case, surely I would have done something. She gave me cigarettes. That's where we were with our relationship.
But you don't get to make those choices, do you? You follow the direction and the orders you're given, which is understandable. I
made
expect
the
the
choice.
same for those under me.
The problem is with me is I like to make decisions and ask for forgiveness later. So unfortunately on this one, I made the choice.
And what decision was that?
For her to stay away. Because I felt it inappropriate. This
And-
isn't your situation whereby you suspend her. It's not that, is it? There was blood lost in that scenario. It doesn't just take a week. If it does, I don't know who you are.
It's a very odd statement to make.
Also,
The inference that Babylonian blood has more meaning than the blood of anyone else.
that's not what I said.
No. But that's what your words imply. Because there's plenty of blood lost before that incident and afterwards. And while the actions that day cannot be justified, to look at that as the only meaningful loss of blood is a rather odd position. How do you think that food stall worker felt when he was taken? How do you think he felt when he was strapped to a steering wheel and had a bomb placed in it? A man that provided food to feed the city. What did he do? Why was he punished? What was his relationship with February 18th?
What did I do? And why was I punished? By one of your marshals.
There you go again, Nancy. Deflecting. That might
I'm not
work with...
deflecting.
Well, that's what they would categorize that as.
I have nothing to reference what you're talking about.
February
how it
18th,
sounds
February 18th, February
Is that
18th.
it was very similar to my experience.
Yeah.
And I hate that someone else went through that.
Did a very interesting book on you, Nancy, when you were arrested today. Resistance.
What was it?
Have you been in touch with Mr. Lang Buddha?
No.
No. That's strange. So you're unaware of his involvement with the resistance?
I am.
Ah. And what if I were to tell you that his forensics are all on the scene of that senior buns worker being taken? What are you going to say to him? Look, Nancy, I understand the predicament you're in. You don't want to say too much. You don't want to end up on the list of names alongside Artemis and Anya, who've been very forwardly threatened by Lang and company. You don't want to end up on that list. I get that. I really do.
There's a list.
But what I need you, and the reason I'm saying these things, is that when you're in the cells in Bolingbroke, there's some serious moral questions I think you need to be asking yourself. Because you, Nancy, you know the truth. I'm not God. I'm not a judge. But I think you'd really need to ask yourself the question, does February 18th justify everything that's happened afterwards? And I'm not talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about individuals who had nothing to do with any of this. I'm expecting to get shot every single day I wake up.
Like I did. For doing nothing.
Happens to me every day.
You chose it. I didn't.
Huh. I believe you're already choosing now, and you did a while ago. Maybe not before February 18th, but very much after it. The claims of becoming radicalized as a consequence, it bears no legitimacy. It's just an excuse. It usually is. Because every day past that point, be it the jailbreaks or the decisions afterwards, the innocent civilians that were hurt along the way, those are choices.
As they were for you.
I wasn't there on February 18th. I drew every single marshal away from that scene that day.
So why not Vale?
She was in the water. I tried calling her. And that other dumb fuck.
And what did you do after February 18th when you realized that you had a department that would happily just shoot upon unarmed civilians, just trying to make a life for themselves?
I think I answered that question. What did you expect to take place?
And that's it?
I'm
She was
asking you.
suspended and rehired?
Suspended and rehired. You expected her to be fired. Keep in mind that the claim here is, what was your expectation for her to be fired over that incident?
For going into somewhere unannounced where a lot of civilians live their lives out by fishing every day, making food, putting on events, and they ran, fleeing for their life with no weapon in hand? Yes.
I'm the place where drugs are manufactured, weapons are made and sold. That place? Should have unarmed civilians been shot up in the midst of a sandstorm? Absolutely not.
So you're telling me that if...
No, I'm asking you, what do you expect an individual who is involved from the sidelines, who's given orders by someone above them to open fire? Did she shoot you, Nancy?
Well, I'm not sure who else could have shot me, given that she was on the top of that tower, and I was running towards what used to be my old lab for cover.
So
I'm not sure who else that could have been.
how many cops were there that day, Nancy?
I couldn't tell you that because I was shot down within the first 30 seconds.
So
and I
how are
was
you
left
so
bleeding on the
certain
floor.
she did it?
Would the relevance be here that it was her and not another officer?
She was reprimanded for even being there and for the things that she said in court. I never asserted she's the one that shot any civilians. That's your claim. As I'm sure you're well aware, a series of Babylonians began to open fire. So you tell me, Nancy, did she shoot you?
My assumption would be that she did, given that when the first time that I met her was in Sandy, and she apologized. So my assumption would be yes.
Her apology came from a place of being involved in the first place. And for the things that she said, for not just being politically ignorant, but being exceptionally unprofessional for a situation that I think we can both agree should never have happened in the first place. I know it might come to you as a bit of a shocker there, Nancy, but not every member of law enforcement refuses to accept when we do wrong.
I wouldn't have kept in contact with her if I thought that was to be the case.
Mm.
Because I'm rather understanding, actually, despite how you wish to paint me.
I'm only making my statements based on some of the ones that you've made today. And I'm willing to believe you. But it draws back once again to the question of, was February 18th for you enough to turn you into a monster?
If I wanted to become a monster, wouldn't I have done it the day after? Over trying to resolve issues that weren't really my problem to resolve. If I was a monster, then why not then?
Because sometimes people get twisted days afterwards. Are you carrying around an AK?
Because I fear everything. I used to walk around streets not worrying about my life and what would happen to me. Truth be told, I don't know how to use it.
Fear makes people do very, very dangerous things.
Yet when you walked in and said you were detaining me, if fear made me do dangerous things, then I would have done it, and I didn't.
No. I think that you had yourself convinced that you had fooled us and that you would be detained and quickly let go. I think even right now you're probably wondering how we caught on.
Yes, it's why it was my very first question.
Mm.
You were refusing to answer it, even though I've kindly answered many of your questions.
I think you haven't really answered much of anything. Do you take me for a fool, Nancy?
No, I don't.
Mm.
I never have.
So consider me giving back the same energy.
And you would want me to answer what? To understand what the hell happened today.
I think I want to know truthfully what why you did what you did the day of the raid and afterwards. Why run? Why break out if you're not guilty?
Because I think you would have painted me as a monster anyway, without even hearing me out.
You would have had an opportunity to be on bail. Y'all would have had your court case already. Y'all broke out less than 24 hours later.
But I'm not a monster.
Do you still worship Shai Hulud?
I can only speak for myself.
What do you think of him?
Yes, I do. And I love spice. Very much so. And no, I would never want to push that on another person. I am me.
Would you feel the same for someone who sold cocaine and ensured their clients did not have too much?
From my experience, I think cocaine is a very different drug. I think cocaine is a very dangerous drug. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Why so? Do you believe it to be more addictive?
I believe it to be more dangerous. Addictive would be a strange comment. In the same way that I'm addicted to nicotine, alcohol. All of those things are just as addictive.
I would argue alcohol is significantly more addictive.
And its repercussions of taking it regularly with alcohol are much worse.
Liver damage, heart disease, impairment behind the wheel.
But it's what the government selected would be legal in certain capacities. Why not something else? One could argue that methamphetamine could have been that chosen one, but it wasn't.
It still is. You can be prescribed meth.
Perhaps not a good example then. But what if the government decided that black tar heroin was the thing you could purchase in every shop? What if they decided that? Then that's what would be.
Cassie, were you about to ask, can you be prescribed meth?
No, I was just saying you can be prescribed heroin as well. It's just under a different name.
That's
Every
true.
single addictive drug that you know on the streets can be prescribed for many reasons. The main one being if they are to go into rehab. Going cold turkey on heroin, alcohol, and cocaine is extremely dangerous and can lead to death. So they found the chemical components of each of those drugs and put it into a tablet form. So that way it lessens the effects and you can slowly detox.
Fentanyl's the same thing. Readily available.
So then could I have a spice readily available, given my addiction?
Given that there's been test trials of MDMA and various other types. I mean, fentanyl is prescribed in lollipops and series of painkillers.
But it have to be for a reason. They're not just going to give you an addictive substance to continue your addiction.
Well, if one is saying that an addictive substance has to be slowly removed out of your system, then wouldn't this be very similar if it's put in the same bracket as everything else? And if
Well,
that's simply not the case, then perhaps it's not what you think it is.
I think you're presuming what we think. We simply enforce the law.
I'm presuming what I've read in articles from doctors.
Is that why you had a prescription system? The one everyone texted you about?
I would have loved to have done that. But that would have made me a monster.
Prescriptions?
Prescriptions that are deemed illegal by the state, yes, it would have made me a monster.
Why did you sign off on a bunch of prescriptions?
Why did everyone text you about them?
Because they knew I was addicted.
So you probably aren't around, but wanted to get a spice prescription ASAP. Want to apologize for not doing this sooner, due to my own fault and neglecting to do so with something you work very hard on. And for that, I apologize. I do actively take spice and have a great experience so far. I just did not do this properly by signing up with you for the prescription instead of randomly purchasing it from you during trade day. Again, I really am sorry, and let me know whenever, whatever I have to do. Really appreciate all the hard work and effort you put into everything with the lab, spice, and science from New Babylon. Did you read all this from New Babylon? What dumbass gave Quantum that much power over Alfonso?
What do you think he had power with?
The Merchants Guild?
And what did the Merchants Guild do?
Oh, you know the answer to that.
I'd like to hear it in your words.
Would you like to see the recruitment video I made?
I would love to see that.
Okay. I'll have to hand you a copy after we're all done with this.
All right.
It uses AI, so if you're allergic to it, I can understand. But AI is the future, of course.
Yeah, of course. Do you think I'm a monster?
I think that you may be tending towards one. I think you have many redeemable qualities. I believe that some of the decisions that are happening around you, you may not directly do, but you associate with. You know, when I think of history over the many, many decades, I think society tends to be run by monsters. Some end up becoming villainized in history books. And people forget that the victors are just as monstrous. But what empowers them are those that they surround themselves with. I think everyone believes that they're doing what is morally just, and then become completely blind to all the actions they take along the way. I think when you distill everything away from the litany of situations, dozens over time, I think it really just comes down to two sides refusing to come to the table and coming to common terms. It's usually what I believe it boils down to.
Do you think you ever came to my table to do that? Because I can't recall.
You specifically? No.
Why?
You
If you think that
specifically?
spice, if this is a monstrous thing that you think it is, why wouldn't you if you assumed
Because
that
I know
was
it's not
so
your
involved?
decisions. I think just as I tell my marshals to do what is needed, as well as the others on this apprehension team, I think you too do what's necessary to maintain your position and do what is asked of you. I'm sure that you push back from time to time, but ultimately you are still a part of the cog. Or a part of the machine, I should say.
I pushed back from the moment I moved into Babylon to the very end, where we are right here.
So did Eliza, didn't she? But when push comes to shove, you still ultimately need to make a choice.
What do you think my choice is?
Not to break out of prison. Negotiate a plea deal. Get your bail hearing. But you didn't do any of those things, did you?
No. And that was my own choice. Much like taking spice was my own choice, running that lab was my own choice. Doing everything I shouldn't do is always my own choice.
That's what everyone thinks.
Are you a helpful person?
Cassie, you mind leaving real quick?
Okay.
Coming back after 15 seconds?
Yeah, that's fine.
You can come back. Nancy, or Cassie, come back. That was her choice too.
But myself and Cassie are very different people.
How so?
But we have two different brains, so you make your decisions, I make mine.
She chose to follow my orders. She chose to come back. Those are her choices.
I could have said no to him.
And why didn't you?
Because I believe everything. I believe in my high command, and I believe in the director of the marshals to keep us safe. And he would not tell me to do something if it was not for my best interest or for my own personal growth. See, I'm just a deputy. I'm still learning things.
Yet on February 18th, that couldn't be the case.
I
It's a
was
shame
not
that didn't
hired on
work then.
February 18th.
See how quickly you paint her? Without
Wasn't
knowing
even
who she
hired.
is?
Do you know what, Nancy? I actually went to New Babylon. Gosh, when was it? This would have been end of February, start of March. This is shortly after I was hired. I was a PPO at the time. And I was with, do you know Sergeant Nova?
I've heard the name.
I went up to Babylon because my main focuses when I was a PPO and a cadet was community policing and to keep everyone safe. In fact, you even came to my toll booth a couple times, Miss Nancy. Came to my toll booth, you paid the toll. We had a nice conversation. And it really hurt me, the fact that Babylon closed themselves off to everyone. And I went up to New Babylon and I had a chat with Eliza. I wanted to see what we could do to sort things out, because I wasn't aware of anything to do with February 18th. And Eliza was open to it. Do you know who shut it down?
Who?
Your Grandma Duke. He said, no. Stay away. Get out. If you come here again, you're gonna get shot.
And then Eliza did what?
And then Eliza had a little chat with me, and we parted ways, and said she's gonna try her best to see what we can do to stop this hostility between us. Because listen, New Babylon didn't have to integrate fully with Sandy if you did not want to. We weren't gonna force anyone to come down to BCSO and join our shift meetings. I just wanted you guys to feel like we could stay together and live together. And if you guys ever needed help, you could have called on us.
Which goes back to doing as one is told. I never cut that contact. Not once. So I'm not sure how you wish to paint it that is simply the case. If you choose to do that, then fine. But I didn't. I never cut contact.
But Lang did.
That's his prerogative, not mine. I lived there because it was peaceful.
I believe you. You know, they say I'm the reason a New Babylon got to where it was. For pulling people away and having them target a bigger danger. Faceless.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with the decisions I made at the time. But I do think February 18th wasn't just a demasking of certain members of law enforcement, but for many of the people within New Babylon. Once again, a choice. People don't truly show their colors until they're put in a difficult position. And that's when the mask begins to slip.
Would you be insinuating that my mask has slipped?
No, I think you're keeping much of it on still. I think there's some truth in your words. But despite the devil you and many others try to paint me as, you haven't seen the tanks roll out because they're unnecessary. I think that this experience is new to many of y'all. I think at some level you believe what you're doing is for the greater good. Associating is for the greater good. And I think ultimately what the resistance is doing is just dividing the city.
And what is the resistance doing?
I think you know.
But I'd like to know from your words, because some of your words today have not rung true with me.
Well, I think the resistance is just a reaction of overzealous terrorists. I think that the only way that they can get the message across is what happened on 6/11 and what happened on 6/14 and the many incidents prior. I have to say that I've enjoyed this interrogation. I think the only disappointing bit is I always wonder, people deem themselves to be some kind of freedom fighters, but the moment they have an opportunity to speak their mind and to stand on business, all of a sudden it becomes, I don't recall and I have nothing to do with it. It's always interesting that.
But even if I did think that, and I told you that that's exactly what I thought, and that's who I was, then what of it? Or what benefit would that be to me at that moment? Even if I was this terrorist that you paint me to be. How would that change things?
It underlines those who actually believe in a message and those that pretend they do. I think it's the differentiator between those that have conviction and those that may realize that they have gone a little bit too far. Because if you truly believe in something, you stand by it at all costs.
And what do you think I truly believe in?
I don't think you truly believe in much. I think you do because the others do. And I think the danger of separation is too daunting.
And that would be a very dangerous way to paint me. Because I have never been that and never will be that.
I think you were truly I think if you truly believed in the things that have been said and the message that has been underlined, you'd be standing on that. But I can understand the fear, and the orders haven't come in yet. I'm sure it must feel very safe behind a microphone.
Perhaps you think I'm silly.
I don't think you're silly. I think you're just scared.
I wish I could give you more of the 5 months that I've lived here. I really wish I could. I think it would change your opinion. But alas, we don't have that time.
5 months ago, I was shooting faceless drones and airplanes above New Babylon. I know a lot more than you may realize. Is there any questions you have, Nancy? We can certainly continue this conversation tomorrow, but right now you have a bit of a reunion with Alfonso and many of the others.
Yes, that I do. And I presume you're not going to tell me why you were there today? Or what
Not
led
yet.
to today's events?
Very right.
Well, I still got Tony to catch. And a couple others.
Yeah. You do.
I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording here at 7:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get her in a new pair of cuffs and we'll get her transported.
Okay, she needs to collect her belongings from DOC that brought them up. from the
Oh,
original
yes. Could
arrest.
you handle that, please?
Of course it can.
Awesome,
Okay,
thank
Miss
you.
Nancy. I'm gonna be placing you into some handcuffs here, okay?
Okay.
Let's have Riker, if you could back her up. I'll take point on radio.
Left eastbound.
It sounds like they're still on it. What the fuck?
Right, you're still eastbound capital. Right,
Yes.
southbound,
They've
Little
been very
Bighorn.
self-sufficient.
Right, southbound
Okay.
Roy Lowenstein. Well, wrong lane, southbound Roy
Oh, I
Lowenstein.